Not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
Wait, I have hair just like him.
When I see you hanging about with anyone, it's not unusual to see me cry.
I want to die. All right, here we go. Now, I played that song for a reason. We're going to start out with some trivia. I'll let it keep playing in the background. All right, so you can win a silver quarter that I dug myself. Okay? If you can answer
Out
this
of your
trivia
pocket?
question. Huh?
Out of
Now,
your
I'm
pocket?
watching this on. Hold on. All right. Here we go. We know the song is It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones. But on a TV show back in the 90s, there was a fictional character whose favorite singer was Tom Jones. From a nationally syndicated sitcom, what character was Tom Jones' favorite singer? And you only have a few minutes. You only have like 1 minute to answer. If someone can answer this, I don't think you can look this up on the web.
I can tell you the show, I think.
If anyone can tell me what fictional character from a 90s, early 90s show Tom Jones was his favorite singer. No, it was not Tiny Tim. Oh, Matt Kwiatkowski nailed it.
What was it?
Matt, I'll tell you, Matt Kwiatkowski nailed it. And that was not, I hope, now he'll tell me if he did a search for that or not. But I'll tell you something, that's a good one. It was Carlton Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I was going to
And
say
that's
one of
when
the Golden Girls.
No, and yeah, right. You're thinking the Golden Girls, and that is what was I going to say? I missed it, but Carlton. Oh, that's when he created that dance, the Carlton or whatever they call it. Yeah, good answer, Matt. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So, Matt, you won a silver quarter because I like you. Actually, Joni won it because we like her better. It's not funny. Yeah, Matt, we like Joni better.
My phone's ringing in the other room. I have a feeling I know who it is.
You got to go get it? Yeah, I'll tell everybody why. You notice someone's missing tonight. Wow, you guys got it on YouTube too, and I'm sorry I wasn't watching YouTube, and I oh boy, I apologize, but yeah, I should have been watching that. So Ronnie's not here tonight because he's locked out of Facebook. So we're trying to get him on, and of course, it's going to take phone calls from him during the show. On couldn't have did this at 7:30. Couldn't have did this at 4:15. It was 5 of. I get Ronnie can't get on Facebook. So we're trying to get Ronnie on. You know how it goes. We do the show till we can get him on anyway. Okay. What's it? Do you know what? I screwed this up. North Florida, Central Florida Metal Detecting Club. Is that it? Well, our plans are set for Florida. The Spring Fling with
what do you want? Apple?
Who is it? Deb North? Yeah, I think it's Central. All right, someone's gonna post it. I can't believe it just slipped my mind. We're going to Florida. We're gonna find out who's all going. Frank's getting ready to move there. But we are going to be October 8th is the dig in Florida. We're going there. I think it's a Central Florida Metal Detecting Club. Someone's going to tell me, but I missed it offhand. So I'm psyched. I am psyched to go to that dig. I can't wait. Gary Penta's going to be there. I can't wait to see Gary Penta. I can't wait to see Mark Hoover. I can't wait to see KG and Ringy and everyone else who's involved. I'm going to see John Purcella. Jen Foreman will be there.
Let me make sure I remember to put the 59 in.
Celeste Rolls will be there. So, are we going to interrupt the show with the phone call?
Go by me. I'm really not here. I have to change pages here.
All right, or can you get my guest in as soon as I introduce him?
Yeah, introduce him. I'll bring him in.
All right, I want to tell everybody about how I met this next gentleman and who's our guest
Oh,
tonight.
you're going to take a long time, Brad. How about if I just bring him in and then you tell the story?
No, I want to.
I'm trying to help Ronnie.
As soon as you move to Florida, I'm done this show. As soon as you cross that state line, consider my resignation. Big league Tibbs, you got some shoes to fill.
Hey, look. Here's Wayne.
All right. So one day, maybe about a year or so ago now, right? I'm detecting on the beach. And I come off the beach, and a truck pulls up, and a guy's
I forgot the 59.
Guy's getting his metal detecting gear out. So I say hi, and we start talking. And I said, I'm on this show, Detect America, on our page. Why don't you check us out and join it up? Before I knew it, it was Wayne Wilson over here, our guest tonight, joined the page, became an active member of Detect America. He actually watched our show and actually liked it. So I sent him for a psychiatric evaluation, and he passed. Who likes our show? Who watches it? You're still in my shot.
Steve, I never said I liked it.
Oh,
I just said I kept watching it.
you just said okay. See, that is very important, because I don't think I've had anyone say we like it, they watch it. But welcome, Wayne, and ever since we've met, you've become part of Detect America, which is great. You actually have donated many, many prizes to be given away. You are now also a member of the South Jersey Metal Detecting Club with us, coming and hanging out at the meetings, and I hope you're going to go to ATSION in a couple weeks, right?
Yep, I see.
I probably won't. I'm working a a lot of overtime right now, so I don't think I'm going to make it.
You don't need the overtime.
I am hanging up
On Saturday, huh?
Okay.
Yes.
So here is our other guest. We like to call him Mr. Prevagen himself, Ron DeGhetto.
Hello, everybody.
Can you explain what happened now?
They switched his new meta thing, and they have security, and you got to go through this process, and whatever.
How many times did you try to do it before they said they're going to mail you a password?
Actually, I did it. I think I did it once, but there's several ways you can do it, and I clicked on the thing that just said they're going to email me something. It was just a royal pain in the butt.
So now, are you on Lisa's Facebook account?
No, he just sent me the link through email, and I pressed it. And now
email. Okay. All right, I thought you were on Lisa's account. So, Ron, say hello to Wayne. I know you know him personally.
What's up, Ron?
How you doing?
And so Wayne is no newcomer. Now, a couple, I guess maybe 2 months ago now, Wayne, or so,
Yes.
I get a phone call from Wayne. He's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Or can I tell him the picture you sent me?
Yeah.
So I get this picture of a gold coin. I'm like, oh, holy moly. Wayne's like, you're not going to believe the story. He started assisting with the county archaeological society, the county he lives in, with their archaeological society, digging a well-known battlefield in our area that we've known about. We've known, the location's a little park. Everybody's like, oh, I want to detect there. You're not allowed. People try and sneak in detectors, but it's pretty sacred ground. And Wayne got in with the County Archaeological Society and helped out on this dig. And he found a gold guinea, right, Wayne?
Yes.
Hey.
And something else. But we're going to let Wayne tell the story. Yeah, there it is. We're gonna let Wayne tell the story. And now tell him the heartbreaking part about this coin, Wayne.
You go into this obviously knowing that anything you're going to find is it goes to the park, it goes to the battlefield, and it's actually pretty cool because they're going to display it at some point somehow, either in the Whitall House or maybe the county museum. Just to clarify, Steve, I did not find the gold coin. I dug it up. It went up in a bucket of dirt out of my hole. And
no wonder it didn't wind up in your pocket.
What's that?
So there was no chance it's going in your pocket.
But then there was two other volunteers working with me that day, and one of the ladies actually said, "I think I have a coin." And how you see it right there in my hand is how it looked coming right out of the dirt.
Sure, that's how they come out. Yeah. And that's beautiful. Did it have a year on it?
1766.
Wow.
Beautiful.
1766. That's beautiful. So please start off and tell us the historic story of this site.
Well, it was a battle in National Park called Red Bank Battlefield
In New Jersey.
And
that's right. I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's right on the Delaware River.
Yes, and it is not the town of Red Bank in North Jersey. This is down in South Jersey, and it was kind of like an against all odds battle where I think it was about 2,000 Hessians attacked our fort with about 500 Americans, and the Americans decimated them. And the battlefield has been a park for years now, and 2 years ago, the park recently acquired private property at the northern end.
Now, real quick, I just want to interrupt.
All right, weren't you just yelling at me, telling me not to interrupt Wayne?
No, I want to get in his story. I want him to explain who the Hessians were.
The Hessians were a paid army, the mercenaries, and they fought for the British. I'm not sure there was tens of thousands of them fighting here in America, and it was the Hessians that actually attacked the Americans. And like I said, the Americans were outnumbered 4-1.
And they have this battle. Now, I understand there's part of a story where one of the American soldiers ran from Haddonfield to Red Bank to tell the Americans that the British were coming in a way.
Yeah, I don't think it was a soldier. You're talking about Jonas Cattell. And the Hessians had crossed over. They were in Philadelphia. They crossed over, and I think they spent the night in Haddonfield. And any people that they thought could be a problem, they had them locked up overnight. And as soon as the British and Hessians left Haddonfield, Jonas Cattell ran from Haddonfield to the fort to let them know they were on their way.
And that was about 13 miles, I think.
I'm not sure. It's further than I could possibly run. I know that.
Oh yeah, if it's further than my refrigerator, I ain't making it. So good. Now we have this battle of National Park.
So by Jonas Cattell running, I believe that's when they destroyed the bridge over Timber Creek in Westville. So the Hessians had to go all the way out through, out like past Deptford, and cross Timber Creek out that way out on Clements Bridge Road. And they were supposed to attack early in the morning and didn't end up getting there till, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the element of surprise was already gone.
And describe the terrain at National Park. There's a certain terrain down there.
Yeah, it's real hilly. It's a bluff overlooking the Delaware. There was a fort on our side. They also had a Fort Mifflin over in Pennsylvania, and those two forts were there to protect Philadelphia. So when the Hessians attacked, they were going to send up ships from upriver, and it was almost like everything worked against them. The winds were against them. The tides were against them. Ships were running aground, trying to sail dead into the wind. And it just nothing worked out. Nothing worked out the way they thought it was going to. And the only way the ships even know the battle the only way they knew it had even started was that they heard the fighting, and they were still miles downriver. The Americans had all kinds of defenses across the river to block them, in addition to many ships up on the northern end of the battlefield, and they were actually shooting at the Hessians, attacking the fort from the river from multiple angles. And one other thing was they had a French engineer come in prior to the battle and look at the fort, and they said that they were way undermanned. So what they did is they divided the fort into sections and made it smaller, and the outer sections that they walled off, they would put maybe a dozen or two men there. So when the Hessians came in, they had a couple volleys, and then they would retreat back to the fort. And what happened, the area that the dig is in is where one of those, they put gates up so that they could retreat behind they don't really know what the gate was, but they call it a gate. And the Americans did their volleys and then ran back through the gate into the main part of the fort. And the Hessians, seeing them retreat, they assumed that they were already winning. The battle was almost over, because everywhere the Hessians fought, they would dominate the Americans. And they were in this trench. And what they didn't know is the Americans had cannons trained on them to shoot right down the trenches with canister shot, all their muskets, everything. And now they're in a 20-foot deep trench. And it was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Fish in a barrel, man.
And that is the spot where we were digging. And part of the dig, the dig was, the scope was so they could find the actual profile of the trench, but also see if they could find any remains of some sort of gate structure blocking off that end of the fort.
Did you find anything about the gate or no?
No, we did find some wood posts, and just with anything you're digging up, there a lot of it is just theory and what you think you're seeing in the soil. We actually uncovered a couple posts that had decayed and went all the way down to the bottom of the trench. But after finding all the human remains, they're thinking that they may have been markers showing where people were buried.
So basically, it was trench warfare, and out of convenience, they used it as a burial site.
Yes, that's exactly what they did. Is it appeared some of the remains appeared like they had rolled down the hill during the fighting, and they were when the state police forensic archaeologist was in there, she said the way they were laid out, it looked like that's how they fell in battle. And then there were others that were laid side by side, just like a typical burial.
So let's go back to the beginning of how you got involved in doing the dig. I believe you had worked with the Archaeological Society before.
Yes, I was a member for years, and not really too active, but they had a dig 7 years ago where they went in with the ground penetrating radar. They actually had a group that came in with detectors, and they documented everything they found, everything they saw, and they found what they thought was part of a cannon that had exploded after the battle. And sure enough, when they dug it up, they found an 800-pound fragment. And when I read about that, I went to the guy that runs the Archaeological Society, and I said, look, if you ever need any help with any of that stuff, I'd certainly be willing to, carry dirt, dig, shovel, whatever help you need. And 7 years later, I got an email saying they were looking for volunteers.
And what made them focus on this area? Because the funny thing is, I'm going to say it's not within the boundary of the park.
But did they know that trench was there? It just was property they didn't own?
It was privately owned land. In fact, there was actually a house on the front part of it up until the early 19th century. Early 1900s. and you can actually still see remains of the trench. The trench is there plain as day, and it lines up with the trenches inside of the actual park.
They just didn't have access to it until they
Correct.
acquired the land.
And 2 years ago, the family approached the county and offered to sell that to the park. And they're actually in the process now of extending the fence around it. So,
That's
in
awesome.
fact, I think they were supposed to install the fence today or tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what they did. Because what happened was Wayne said, "Steve, you can come over and check this out." And we went over, and I got to tell you something. It was a hot day. It was a hot and humid day. We went, and I'll tell you what, just by the tone in Wayne's voice, you could tell he was very emphatic and really enjoyed being part of this. And he had talked to me about this, in the weeks of doing it. And she's like, "I love doing this. It's great." So when I got there, all these holes were, they had the string around them, and an archaeological dig is pretty meticulous in a way. You can see the holes they dig. They go down a little at a time, and I started talking to some people that were out there that really enjoyed it. Wayne was like you were like in your glory, man. You really, really enjoyed doing this and being part of this.
Yeah, it was really cool. And as volunteers, we were really only there to sift the dirt as it came out of the holes. And like you said, it was so damn hot that the archaeologist that I was working with the first day, he ended up not having heat stroke, but he ended up laying up in the grass, pouring water on his face.
So I was sweating watching you.
Yeah. So now we had volunteers there with no dirt to sift. And I offered to jump. I said, if you show me what to do, I'll jump in the hole. I don't mind digging.
Now, did you use your detector at all? I see detectors out and about in these holes and stuff, but did you get to detect it all on this site?
I did, but only when they tore the fence out a couple weeks ago between the new property and the old. They had us come in with the detectors, and we actually found a button from the battle and a piece of iron canister shot or grape shot. But no, we did have the one archaeologist had a 30-30 that he would have on site every day, and we used the pinpointers a lot, but most of that was done. They wanted you to dig everything, and before we left, they were really concerned about people breaking in and looting the site at night.
Yeah.
Of any, anything, any metal artifacts. But even once the remains started to get exposed, they actually had round-the-clock police presence right at the gate that they were very concerned about. So at the end of the day, before we left, before the remains were found, we would scan the floor of all the holes and the walls just to make sure there wasn't anything left. And we actually found quite a few musket balls doing that.
Jen Foreman posted, she said, if there was a need for more people, that I would have volunteered. Jen, I already begged Wayne while this was going on.
I can't even get him to go out metal detecting. He wouldn't have went.
I'm kidding. I said, but Wayne, tell me you know somebody with that radar. I'll come right out.
No, that's not what you said.
Yes, it is. Oh, no. What I said was ask him if they want a famous radar operator.
There you go. Yeah, someone famous. And yeah, what did I say to you?
I don't remember. I don't listen to what you say.
You can't say it on the show.
It was actually a very small, it was actually a very small grant that they had to do this dig, but obviously they're very big on public participation, and it was only supposed to last, I don't know, maybe a half a dozen days. But because the remains were found, so much more funding has become available.
Well, didn't they say that they were basically ready to wrap up when they was off the remains?
It was probably 2:00 in the afternoon on the very last day when we found the first bone, and they were essentially out of money. The dig was over. And aside from all the legal issues that they had to go through with finding the remains, they had to get funding to keep going. And once all this happened, the apparently they had enough money. But if you go on, can I say other websites on here?
Of course
You
you
can say
can.
whatever you
Um,
want.
The Whitall House has a page. I think it's Whitall House Red Bank Battlefield, but they have
Oh
a
yeah, you can't
Facebook
say
page.
Whittle House.
But no, on that page, all of this time when they were asking for volunteers, they were posting it on their Facebook site. So that's what I tell everybody. Make sure you like their page, and they've got all kinds of events. Frank, you mentioned Jonas Cattell or Steve, and they have a Jonas Cattell run every October memorializing the battle. And they have a huge event, reenactments, all kinds of food, vendors. It's actually a pretty neat day.
Did the Hessians march up Kings Highway?
Yeah, in parts they did. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
I'm
probably
not-
were right by my house. I'm a
Yeah.
block off of Kings Highway.
Yeah, they had to be close to your house.
Yeah, I mean, you know where I am,
Yeah, there were camps in Philly because we dug Hessian coins out of that old church in Philly we were at. There's Hessian coins found in those woods there. I mean, they're a mercenary group and they're in lots like all over the area because,
Were Hessians German?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so, and Wayne explained that they've taken the bones and they're going to try and run DNA.
They're going to, they actually brought in the state police forensic archaeologist. She came in and she helped, she did most of the bone removal. They packaged them. And then once they started really exposing the skulls, the state police forensic dentist came down with a portable x-ray machine. They were actually x-raying the skulls while they were still sitting. They hadn't
Where
even
did you get that bill?
And,
I just went to the dentist not too long ago. Where did you get that bill?
But yeah, so all the remains ended up back at the state police lab, and it was just the amount of information that they were telling us about all of the DNA testing. Yeah, that cast right there is actually they printed that using a 3D printer, and that is from an X-ray of one of the skulls. And I think they said that jaw right there was from someone between 17 and 19 years old, I think.
Oh.
Right, that's what people don't understand. These were kids.
Oh yeah.
These were people, what, 16, 17, and 18 years old,
Yeah.
fighting the battle. Now, did they pay them individually to go and fight? I mean, how does this work? I'm going to come fight for you, but how are you going to pay me?
Yeah, that I don't know, Steve. I do know the stuff I've read. A lot of them were in service for years, and even after the war, a lot of them opted to stay here rather than go home.
And then join our side. We got paid to kill you, and now we're going to live with you.
Well, the way it was explained to me is it's almost like NATO. They just went in as a as a force, and they didn't really have loyalty to the British or us.
Right.
They were
They
just
were
paid to
in it for a
fight.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Paycheck and a meal.
But real quick, the one thing I wanted to get in there is with how big this has become, they're already talking about having another dig with volunteers next summer.
That's what I
So
was gonna ask.
keep an eye on that Facebook page for the Whitall House.
You ain't finding me out there. It's hot.
It was brutal.
I'll drive
I
back
know
up.
it's
for that.
brutal. I got
I'll
out of the
drive back up
car.
for
I got out of the car telling my wife I didn't want to go.
that.
Like, no, come on. I'm like, it's too hot. But we did talk to a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
You mean-
Everybody out there that was working on the project was awesome. Yeah,
Show us
your
more
work.
pictures, Frank.
There was probably 6 archaeologists that came and went throughout the dig, and you're talking some of these guys. The one guy dug in Pompeii for 15 years. I mean, these guys did some big stuff. they're naming all these battlefields that they've dug all over the country. Revolutionary War, Civil War, every historical site, you name it. And these guys, one or the other has been there, and they're down in the hole with you and just showing you how to dig, what to look for. And this is what this means when you see this dark stain here.
Explain the digging process now, because you don't just get in there and, you know.
In the beginning, you do, because the trench was still there. And in the one picture you showed, you can see it's real dark black soil. And that was all modern. There was tons of pottery, glass, metal. It was all stuff that trash over the years that whoever lived there, I guess, just filled in the hole. When we were in there, they just wanted a sampling of what was in that layer. So in the beginning, every single piece of glass was saved. And they had buckets full of broken modern pottery. And so in the end, once we started opening up a lot more cells, we were just digging through that. And after a while, we weren't even sifting it because there just wasn't anything worthwhile in it. They just really wanted to get down. Once you started getting down into the orange soil, you would slow down. But the dirt, it was real soft. It was nice to dig in. And you would trowel a little bit, let one of the archaeologists take a look, see if anything jumped out at you. And when you get down near human remains, the oils from the body actually stay in the soil. So you could actually, when you were digging down, once we knew the remains were there, once you started getting within a few inches of them, the dirt turned a different shade. It looked almost like motor oil had been dumped on it, 20 years prior. There was no mistaking it. Once you knew what you were looking for, every single time you got down to oily dirt.
Now, did you smell the smell? A lot of times on the different exhumations I was on, there's actually a smell. Not that it smells like a dead body, but the soil itself has a different aroma. It's almost like a oily, muddy kind of smell when you get down to where bare remains are degrading.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but like I said, there's no mistaking it. Once you get to it, you know you're within a few inches of remains.
And these bodies have been in the ground for about 250 years, right?
Yes.
That's almost Ronnie's age.
Ronnie was selling them detectors back then.
Yeah, back then, yeah.
I would have thought that the water would have filtered that, after years and years of rain, that would have, filtered that stuff out.
Now, because when the bodies degrade, like Wayne's saying, it's an oily residue. If you stick a body in a can and leave it in the sun and come back to it, it's basically a goo, and it's waterproof. It repels water, so it's going to stay. It's going to stay enriched in that ground.
You melt. The body melts.
You melt your fat and stuff, and exactly right. So what happens? It gets absorbed in the soil, and the water doesn't have a lot of effect on it because it's waterproof.
But it's also amazing on how long the bones will last.
Yeah.
Underground, they don't degrade. They don't. 250 years old, and they're still solid bone. It's not.
Adult bones, man. Adult bone. They're finding adult bones, almost 1,000 years old. Adult bones are hard to get rid of.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Some of them had degraded really bad. They were all in bad shape. When you would pick them up, you could feel them. You could feel them crumbling. And what we tried to do is get as many hands as we could on them, and just kind of slide them onto like paper on a board to try and keep everything as intact as we could.
Isn't that now because the air is hitting it more?
When
you bring something up from the ocean?
Yes, it definitely dried out. And, some of the remains, like if they were exposed for a while, you could definitely see it. It looked like wood. It really looked like rotted wood.
Wayne, do they think they're going to get viable DNA out of them?
Yes, they do. They said a lot of the teeth are in good enough shape. They said they will be able to get DNA out of it.
That's awesome.
And another thing that, we learned so many things just being out there as volunteers, just from talking to all of these people, is that when I found a knee buckle. We found it using the detector. It was the end of the day, and we pulled it out. And somebody from, I think, the state police forensic lab was there that day, or they brought it back the next day. I don't know, but they tested it, and it tested positive for human blood.
Wow.
And the blood is
They
long.
tested with luminol. They spray it.
I didn't even see what they did. I was down in the hole helping the forensic archaeologist expose the bones, and I just heard a lot of murmur. You could tell a lot of people were up above you, but you just kind of get in the zone and keep going. I turned around and looked back, and there's people in white lab coats. They had a whole little lab set up, and I don't know what the specifics of the test are, but they're not testing for blood. They're testing for whatever is in the blood, I think, that helps it adhere to the item. And they were actually saying that you can find in like an Indian arrowhead or a spear point, and they, as long as it hasn't been washed or disturbed, if it's 1,000 years old, you can find traces of whatever that enzyme or whatever it is.
That's so cool.
Incredible.
It will test positive for human blood.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so then they started testing any musket balls, anything we took out. We didn't touch with hands. We kind of like pushed it into a little like an evidence bag, and they were testing them, and the musket balls were testing positive for human blood.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Now, here's my question. We don't know whether they were American or Hessian soldiers, correct?
They don't know for sure, but I think only 14 Americans were killed during the battle, and they were all accounted for.
That's what I was wondering. I was just going to ask you because I know, like at Gettysburg, they kind of separated them.
Yes.
You know, they I guess they left the South where they laid. They buried them there, and they took all the Union soldiers back to the cemetery or something. So I was going to ask if this could be a mixture. Like, could this have been, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it was. And then not only that, there was the accounts from the battle say that they stripped the bodies before they buried them. And I think anything that they took went. I think Washington was over at Valley Forge at the time. But I think anything that they got from them, most of it went over to Valley Forge, if I'm not mistaken. But so we didn't really find too much with the remains. But in one small area, I think we ended up with like 45 or 47 buttons, and the ones that were still in decent shape are spot on for the buttons that the Hessians would have been wearing. They wore their uniforms had a very specific button, and the regiment that fought for the Americans was out of Rhode Island, and they had a very specific button on their coats. So there was one pile of buttons, and they think it might have been like a couple petticoats that maybe were damaged, and they didn't want to salvage them, so they threw them in there, or maybe they were carrying remains in them. They don't know. But they're pretty sure that they're going to end up being Hessians.
Now, where these bodies were on the northern boundary of the fort.
Yes.
So more or less, it's probably about where they landed. Am I correct? Because they were coming in from the north, and that's probably right where they would have started the resistance, or got close enough to where they could hit each other.
Yes.
Because let's face it, they're fighting in the woods. When you're far apart, you're just throwing bullets everywhere. But now, as they advanced, that's probably as far as these folks advanced, and they were probably laying there when it was all said and done. And you're not really going to transport them very far to bury them, right?
Right.
Yeah, you already got a trench.
Yes.
Right. So you're like, let's dig a hole and put them. I can't believe they took it. Man, I wouldn't want that job.
Now there was when the actual fighting took place in the main fort, there were hundreds of Hessians killed up there, and they did have a cemetery where they buried them. I'm not sure where. It's somewhere up on the bluff, like up near the monument.
Mhm.
But I think about 150 feet of shoreline has eroded from that since the battle, and everywhere where the Hessians were buried has washed out into the river over time.
Well, that was all dredged too.
Not right there. It was dredged out further, absolutely. But in there's an account. I think it was one of the Whitall mom or one of the Whitall women wrote in one of her accounts that it became such a problem. They were having souvenir hunters in the 1800s coming over from Philadelphia by rowboat, and they would
Sure.
just come in and pull bones. They would find bones on the shore.
Steve, how far away is that from the Field of Dreams?
Oh, very far.
Is it, I was gonna say, because after that dredge, we were pulling reals off the edge there, like
You're talking,
stop.
you're talking upriver, maybe 20 miles.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was that far.
Now, are you talking Field of Dreams in West Deptford?
No. We have a
got it.
location. I could tell you where. I'll tell you about it later. It's a location that Frank had on the Delaware River.
And
That
there was a cannon site there because we found a bunch of
yeah, they were digging some
grape
colonial
shot
stuff there,
in
but
there.
Oh, okay.
that is, yeah, maybe 20 miles upriver. Now, let's face it, because you know where the Walt. This is right by the Walt Whitman Bridge, Frank.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, you don't really notice it when you pull in that park, but that park does sit very high because you have to
Oh
go down.
yeah, that whole thing is high.
And it's interesting. And I think it's great that you got to be a part of it because the enthusiasm you had for doing this was like you were like 1,000% into this. And I think it's great that you were able to partake in that. And I have a feeling that it's going to happen again. I mean, it's ridiculous how they run out of money. You know, I mean, it all relies on money. You know, when most of you guys are even volunteers out there, that why can't they continue it? So I guess they have to get the funding, do the planning, and then I'm sure you'll be out there again. I mean,
I sure hope so.
oh, you were so into it, man. It was like it was really, good to see that you were doing something you really enjoyed.
Yeah. That
Because
picture,
it was about 100 friggin' degrees.
that picture that Frank just put up there, that's 5 musket balls, a piece of iron canister shot, and a button. That came out of that was before any remains were found. That actually came out of the same hole as that gold guinea.
Now,
That's just awesome, man. I mean,
I do want to ask a question. I mean, this is when we were talking before the show, and Wayne mentioned having pictures of the bones, and out of respect, he's not showing any of those pictures, and it's completely understandable. But my gripe is that if you guys had a picture of me laying there dead on the ground, you'd be showing everybody. It would be all
I'd
over.
be dressing you up in little outfits.
It would be all over the internet. Yeah. I really appreciate that. Oh, here's Steve dead. Look he only got halfway through the cheesesteak and died. And probably auction off the
First
rest
of
of
all,
the cheesesteak.
no one would believe that you only made it halfway through.
Yeah, right. That
Steve
right
would be
there.
going like this. Wait, I'm
Yeah.
almost done.
Give me that. That's not funny.
One of the cool things, another thing that has come out of this is that I've done a couple interviews for print, for TV, and I was actually on imdb.com tonight, and my
You saw me?
IMDb
Oh,
my ranking is actually higher than Frank's now.
Yeah,
See?
well,
Whoa!
it's been a while since my show aired. Wait till the next one.
My ass. Yeah, your rank. Believe me, you rank a lot higher than them in a lot of respects. So,
Wait a
also
minute.
the
Do
other.
I have to go get the gun I found again and show you my pictures of Josh Gates? I'm just saying.
Wayne saw me the other night. We saw him at the South Jersey Metal Detecting Club meeting, and he says, "Listen," pulls me aside. He goes, "I want you to give this away on the show. So in a few minutes, we're going to be giving away. It's hard to even get these things.
See, now
A
you're going
1
to
ounce.
show off. You're going to show off and get it to people like in a couple days, and just to make me look bad.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to get this real quick by the time. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. They ain't get nothing. Way before.
I'm still waiting on prizes from 3 months ago from Frank.
Listen,
Did you win something?
Yeah,
it's.
What?
it was a walker, I think.
I'm going to get it for you.
Oh,
What
I
the
saw
frick?
that.
So a beautiful Buffalo round. Wayne, I got to thank you again for all the things you donated to the show. I just like having you as a friend and a member. And, we got to get out again this winter and detect it. Wayne is one of these guys. You know what Wayne's like? He'll call me up and go, "Steve, I got some property. You want to go detecting?" And Steve said, "Yeah, I want to go." So we've gotten out a couple times and detected, and Wayne has found some good spots. Joe McMichael and Nick Tedeschi, these guys all hunt together. So they are pretty avid hunters. Now, Wayne, you're using the CTX, right?
Now, Equinox 800.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You got the Equinox 800 now, and a lot of good luck with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just great. It's great, And this is why when I'm on the beach or out there and talking about metal detecting, guys, check us out on Detect America. You might, even if you're thinking about being interested in metal detecting, check us out. And that's how me and Wayne met. And like I said, now he's an avid member, great guy.
I heard Wayne came over because he heard I was here.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, we keep that a secret. So, all right, let's first off, we had a little problem with Ronnie last week. We were a little worried about him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, listen to this. So, Ronnie, do you want to tell us what happened?
It was a minor case of food poisoning. That's all.
That's not what I heard.
Well, Shelly made it sound like I was dying. I
Well,
felt like crap, but
Shelly
food
went
poisoning
to Ron's to pick something up, and what were you? You were getting sick in a bucket?
Well, she was at the door. I answered the door and had the bucket in my hand because I knew I was sick. I mean, she was on her way, and I couldn't, it hit me all of a sudden, and I couldn't tell her not to come, and so
Joey's
she
like,
had the opportunity to see me sick.
I heard
Joey
she
calls
was
me up. He
scared.
says, "Oh my God, Ron's all over the floor. He's sick." I said, "Call the ambulance." He doesn't want me to call it. Don't worry about what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, how mean were you to Shelly?
I was not at all. I was very polite.
I heard you were throwing her out.
I don't think she wanted to come in, to be honest
Well,
with
here's a little hint. Did you check your inventory after she left?
you. She didn't come into the house.
Oh, really? Oh,
She
okay.
was in the garage and she picked
she
up
come
the
in.
tent.
Listen, if there's a lesson to be learned by this, it's cook your meatballs better.
That's the other thing. Was it really your meatballs that made you have
No,
food
it
poisoning?
was not. I had some leftover food from a Mexican restaurant. And I mean, that's the only thing I could think of because I ate that, and about an hour and a half later, I literally was.
Yeah. Oh, and then bam, yeah. But yeah, I knew you were going to get mad when we were telling you it was your meatballs.
I called him up. I said, "Steve said it's your meatballs. Is that true?"
Oh, Steve said it's
Oh
always.
yeah, I
Steve
did.
said.
I definitely said Steve said.
Don't worry.
Boy,
I thought
we
you
sure
wanted to
drifted off topic real fast here.
No, the topic we've concluded that portion of the show, and we've now moved on to the
We now moved on to.
ball breaking part of the show. Which leads us to Frank. Frank's moving. This guy is. You think you're getting ready by the weekend, huh?
Oh yeah, I am. I should be on the road this weekend.
Wow.
I should be on
Now-
the road.
All right, so you're going to drive down to your new house in Florida. If no one knows by now, Frank is moving to Dunedin, Florida, which is near Clearwater.
Oh, you're that far south?
Yeah.
Oh, I know where Dunedin is.
Yep.
So I'm
Apparently, a
not
lot
near
of
your
people
house.
do because there's like I posted on the page and everybody's like, "Oh, I live around the corner." So I got
Yeah. DeFeo lives down. His father goes down there.
yeah.
They have a
His
place
mom-
down there.
and like Big Lee. Big Lee's like my neighbor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Nice
Big
area
League.
down there.
I want to know how many people are going to start sending me messages of take him back. When they find out what you are really like down there off the
What do you
show,
mean, like an ace digger? Is that what you mean when they say they find out what I'm really like?
that's the part I'm talking exactly like that. And they're going to be like, come get this guy out of our state.
I look at it this way. Remember all those times you wanted me to go to the beach in the winter and I wouldn't go? Well, now
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Now you're going to go. You're going to be out there all the time. So, no, I think it's good. If you folks don't know, I mean, yeah, I'm going to miss the guy a lot. And you know, we're going to continue to do
Three
the show.
bedrooms, brother. Just calm down.
But the thing is, this is what's best for Frank in all reality, to tell you the truth. His son lives down there. He needs to be closer to his son. You know, and there's more people. I'm hoping this is going to get him out of the house.
And here's the thing, and I appreciate all the well wishes. I really do. I'm just going to ask one favor. Okay, I'm not dying. I'm not dying. Everybody's like, oh, Monday night the show's going to come on. I'm going to harass these guys to come down. We're going digging down south in a few weeks. I'm not dying. I'm not going down there to
No, this
say
is
my goodbyes.
no, this
I'm
is
going to Florida.
rejuvenation, buddy.
I like
No.
the people. I like the people that are. I can't believe you're going to Florida. I like, dude. I have never met you in my life. I know you through the page. How is any of that going to change?
This is in my mind. I'm hoping this is rejuvenation for you.
I think it will be, dude. I think it will.
I hope so.
It's not even. Listen, yes, I miss. I told the story many times. I grew up in a block that was 100% family. 10 years ago, out of 100 homes on this block, 90 something were family, and now I'm just about the last one here. My son's down there, but beyond the fact that I want to go down there, is that I have grown to really not like this town. I pay some of the highest taxes per square foot in the state, and it's Vineland, guys. It's not like I can go outside and see a palm tree. It's Vineland. It's industrial parks and farm fields, which are nice, but I'm out of the cold weather. I'm out of the icy sleet, and I've done that. I'm moving down closer to family, and I'm going to enjoy the warm weather, and I'm going to still dig, and I'm still going to post, and I'm still going to be in Tech America, and I'm still going to be on the show, and it's just a different venue for me. You're going to see me be a lot happier. Trust me.
Well, you are going to become what the Floridians call a Q-tip. You know what a Q-tip is?
No.
Yeah, he
How about
already
the
is.
Florida folks, come on, chime in. Tell them what a Q-tip is.
Listen, he already is.
Basically, again, it's when you're driving behind somebody that have white hair, and they're old and they're driving their car, and Frank's going to fit right in there with the old part driving his car at 30 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, trust me, you guys are going to know when Frank gets there.
Yeah, you
will.
will.
Let it right in.
God. All right, listen, I'm going
Listen, I'm buying a golf cart.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to start taking all the names. I've got the YouTube up. I'm going to take the names from the YouTube. But if you haven't liked the show, we're going to do some giveaways. You got anything to give away, Frank?
Here's the deal, guys. I don't. Everything is packed. I don't. Here's the only thing that I have out in the house is the box of prizes that I'm going to ship. I'm going to sit here on like Friday night and put coins in envelopes so I don't have to unpack them and find them in Florida.
All right. Well, then we're gonna do a silver round. I'm gonna give everybody. We'll do the one silver round donated by Wayne, and I hope everybody liked tonight's topic. I think I think we'll get a lot of feedback that
I know it's
They will.
extremely interesting. Listen, if you're into history, okay, Wayne was living the dream right there, brother. I'm gonna tell you straight up.
I can tell you something, Wayne. This is how long have I been doing this show, Frank? We've been doing it 8 years.
Yeah.
This is the first time my wife has come down to watch the show because she wants to hear Wayne's story.
Well, I'm doing another presentation at the South Jersey Metal Detecting Club with some pictures, and we'll have them on the projector up on the screen at next month's meeting.
We won't be there.
Yeah, I know, you told me.
Could you zoom that meeting for me so I could watch?
But my wife does not support me on this show one bit. But when Wayne comes on, she's like, I want to listen to what Wayne's got to say. Never one bit has she.
I get it.
And she sat back there quietly, not breaking my stones at all. Like, this is unlike her. And she come down to watch Wayne. And the guy and her kids are like, oh, Frank, they want to all summer long. Let's call Frank.
Listen, I understand that you think that there's some kind of irony there, but I don't see it. I get it completely. I completely understand where they're coming from.
I think it's a crock of shit if you ask me.
All right, you get the name. I'm going to tell Ronnie this quick story that happened to me in the truck today. I was telling Steve earlier.
This is funny.
Let's put it this way. I almost threw my phone out the window today and smashed it because it was pissing me off so bad. So, Ron, I recorded the CTX boot tones as my ringtone on my phone. So, in the truck, I had 2 or 3 people call me. My son called me. I talked to him. I hung up, and I'm driving in my truck. Yeah, the phone rings. Stops ringing right away. I pick it up. Last person called was my son, so I called him back. I said, you just call me? He goes, Dad, I'm sitting in the dentist chair with the hands in my mouth. No, I didn't call you. Okay. Hung it up. I drive a little bit more. Phone rings one time. Pick it up. My son again. But he called 15 minutes ago. This went on 2 or 3 times. Now I'm getting pissed. I'm ready to throw my phone out the window because my phone's broken. And it happened to ring again, and I heard it, and it sounded like it was coming behind me. And I looked, and I got the Legend and the CTX in the back seat. And the Legend had gotten kind of wedged against my seat a little bit, and the Legend was leaned over on the power button, and it kept turning the CTX on and off. And I almost lost my phone today, but it was the CTX. It was the CTX turning on and turning off.
That's funny. I can see that happening.
It was driving me nuts.
I do have a little story to say. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it on Facebook today. Debbie Samosky posted a picture of a backpack, and her caption was, could there be a manicure in there? I'm coming home. So she's coming back from the UK, and she may be bringing one to start doing demos here.
Well, here's a little something that happened over the weekend. So I've been hunting the internet trying to find manicure videos from Detectable. So I sent Debbie a quick little note. I said, Deb, we're all going nuts about this detector. I said, when can you come on the show so I can start harassing you? And of
course, the first reply was, who's this?
I got a reply that said, she goes, after Detectable, she goes, I'll come on.
We're not going to be down in Florida, are we, at that time?
No, well, we're going to set up a date. We can set it up properly.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. There's one more thing. One more quick thing. We every year, me, Steve, and Ronnie, we go on a hunt to the northernmost reaches of the United States,
Florida. And
Ronnie, I understand, is cutting his big short. And I get it. Steve don't understand, but I get it. I'm just going to say this. KC and the Sunshine Band only tours about 40 to 50 times a year, Ron. So when they come around, you got to jump on that opportunity, brother. Don't worry about this digging stuff. Get up there to see KC and the Sunshine Band.
If the B-52s and my wife happens to love that band, otherwise
You told me
I
it was
would not be
KC.
coming home.
I like, do a little dance, too.
It might as well be. Dude, we're going to call you every day screaming Rock Lobster.
I'm going to start playing. I'm going to call it play B-52. I'm going to change my
You know
ringtone.
Ronnie really, Ronnie, if I tell you some of the things, Ronnie gets mad. He gets mad. He's like, you know.
I thought you told me it was KC and the Sunshine Band.
And you told me that.
The two of them.
I
are
thought
there.
Ronnie told me that.
Both of them are playing.
Listen.
I would
Enough-
do anything to
Enough
see.
said. Enough said.
I would
There's
do
no-
anything to say KC and the Sunshine Band.
There's no gold, no reals anywhere on this planet that's worth the B-52s and KC and the Sun. I hear after that they're going to be playing a barbecue down the street from me here.
But you won't be there.
That's okay. I'm sure they're going to be in Florida in a week.
Well, he lives there, doesn't he?
Rock Lobster.
Love Shack. Love Shack.
Oh,
I
poor
gotta
Ronnie.
make that my ringtone now.
There you go.
Poor Ronnie. So we're gonna do this giveaway in a minute. Just give me a second here. I can't thank Wayne enough for being on the show. Anything else you want to promote, Wayne? Anything? I mean, guys, it's Wayne Wilson. If you want to friend him up on our Detect America page, because he really is a good detectorist. Right, Wayne? You're good at detectoring, right?
Detectory.
I find stuff. I wouldn't say I'm that good.
Ron,
You're all right.
Ron, Sean and Oz coming. You want to promote that too?
I would say that's what I was saying is Sean and I concert. He loves Bowser. Are there any real members from the B-52s left in this group? I mean, what?
I think they're all
I have
still
no
alive.
idea. Yeah, I would think so. They're not that old.
I think the girl's 112 now, but I think they're
I wonder if my wife is watching.
Wait, I'm crying.
Poor Ronnie's gonna be doing the Rock Lobster!
That was the quickest you ever found anything on the computer.
Poor Ronnie.
I don't know.
And Wayne thought he was going to come on here and break
The
Frank Stone.
Yeah.
All right, let's see who we can give this.
I can't
lovely
see.
gift
I'm crying.
Down. Don't worry, Ron. We won't call you and break your stones like we've ever done that before.
No. Listen, it's a shame the monkeys are dead because Ronnie would go crazy.
Yeah, I heard they're coming on the 10th. Maybe Ronnie might want to bug out for that. All right. Rock Lobster. All right, we're going to pick a winner for the 1 ounce Silver Buffalo. Detect America rules apply. You have 1 minute to respond. And I already know this person is watching. Mr. Scott McClory, you have 15 seconds to respond or this goes on to the next person. I'd be really surprised if Scott McClory was not watching. And he's a great guy. We got to meet him down at Florida Hunt 32, whatever it was. Are you going to be up screaming, Rock Lobster? You're going to be Rock
I'm
Lobster.
going to be dancing in the aisle, baby.
No, I heard he bought those lobster gloves so he could
Oh yeah.
clap while the
I
song's
got the
playing.
hat. I got the lobster hat.
I believe you got the hat.
Scott McClory is here. So yeah, I knew Scott McClory. You don't even have to ask if Scott McClory is here.
Got me joking.
Rock Lobster. So Wayne, are you an avid Rock Lobster fan?
No, but I sure hope my wife logged off of this show because she used to like the B-52s, and
You might be there too.
I'm not. I wouldn't give up a metal detecting trip with the guys over a concert like that.
So,
yeah, but it's not
Ron,
just
wait,
the B-52s.
I,
It's
I
KC
might have an
Sunshine
extra
Band.
ticket for you if I don't go.
we were kind of looking for my wife to take. Ron, we were trying to set this scam up about my wife would go home and go to the concert with Ron's wife, so Ron could stay and hunt. But my wife held to her gun. She goes, "I'm going."
I was even offered her first class airfare back home.
I'm going. I know she want to go.
I was like 4 rows back from a live concert of the Beach Boys. That I would have blew off in a freaking second to go do this. If the Beatles got back together, I don't think I would have given up the trip.
Oh, poor Ron.
That's all right. That's all right.
This is a cool song, though.
Do a little dance. Oh shit!
Frank, this is gonna be the theme song of the trip.
Oh wait, we got to pick a good one.
This is it. This is gonna be our theme song.
Rock Lobster.
Rock
I don't know. I kind of like Love Shack. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Love Shack. Yeah.
Ooh, well, I don't know. That's kind of weird with us guys singing Love Shack. I mean,
Well, we'll have the girls with us, so.
don't they do? Do they do Psycho Killer too?
That's
I
Talking Heads.
They're the only two
Them
songs
too.
I know. Rock Lobster. And,
Yeah, that's Talking Heads.
Rock Lobster is my favorite part. Shut up.
Wayne has this stunned
Domestic
look on his
violence here,
face.
please. Rock Lobster. All right, so all I can say is we're out of here, man. This show gets bad. Was your wife watching the show, Wayne?
She said she was going to.
Tell her I apologize for what she sees.
hey, we may have 2 extra tickets.
Unscripted.
To B-52.
Unscripted.
Her sister's not going, so.
Oh,
It's
Wayne,
unscripted.
there's a chance for you and your wife now to go to the B-52s and KC the Sunshine Band.
Nah, I think
What
I'm
you
working.
see
I'm
is what
working
you
that
get.
night.
What you see? Oh, they are what? Saturday, September 15th, right, Ron? What casino?
Yes, it's the 15th at the Ocean.
So, Mrs. Wayne, if you want to go to the concert and sit with Ronnie, because he'll be there. We won't.
I think I'll probably maybe YouTube a little bit of B-52s or something, you know, while I'm digging gold as Escudos.
Oh, but you want to hear something funny? I saw this ad for the Gilmore Project coming to Atlantic City, so I thought it was David Gilmour.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Right?
a cover
And-
band.
Well, I didn't know that at first. I thought it was actually David Gilmour, and I called Ron and go, Ron, let's go see David Gilmour. You know what he says to me? Wait till you hear this one. Wait, you're gonna love this one. I'm not a Pink Floyd fan.
I'm really not.
I'm like, what?
I'm not at
But
all.
then now thinking about it, all right, I understand. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Pink Floyd. I got you.
Pink
Yeah.
Floyd that's like if you want to smoke a joint, get high, and just
Pink Floyd is
That don't-
one of the
that's not
greatest
fun.
bands in the history of
Yeah,
music.
they are.
Ah,
Maybe you know what, Ron? Maybe
Oh,
Frankie
Jesus.
Valley and the Four Seasons will be coming.
No.
I've seen them already. I've seen them all.
Don't be busting on my Phillies boys. That I would think about blowing
Jersey
off
boys.
Dig for the Four Seasons. I wouldn't
Jersey
do it.
boys.
I wouldn't blow it off.
No, I wouldn't do it either. No, I wouldn't do it.
Somebody
Yeah,
says
that's
they
probably-
think KC is dead. No, he just
Nah,
thinks
he's
that
still
way.
alive.
He just sounds like it. That's all.
Oh my God! How many people left this show? And like we're just sitting here going on and on.
Yeah, Green Acres is coming on. I gotta go.
Yeah,
So
I
we
can't
gave away-
bust on Ronnie for that because I'm a MeTV fan too. Although I don't like Green Acres.
I am an avid Arnold Ziffel fan.
I see. I never got into Green Acres. I don't know
No,
why.
Arnold
Don't
Ziffel
get me
rock.
wrong. Zsa Zsa was like the bomb, but I never got into. I mean, Jaja was like the bomb.
Yes, darling. Yes, darling. So you go watch
And
your
you know
Green
what? No one
Acres.
used to get me mad. You get me mad. He'd be like, "What was her name on the show?"
Who?
Jaja.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa Douglas.
He'd be like, "Lisa," and she'd be, and kids hide your ears. She'd be lying in bed in a slinky negligee.
Right.
Yes, darling. And he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm going out to farm." Dude,
I'll be out in the barn.
really?
That's kind of like you, isn't it, Frank? You're
Yeah.
always out in the barn.
I was for completely different reasons. I was busy watching Jaja on the TV out there.
You were watching Jaja out there. I'm a big Arnold Ziffel fan, but
Oh, yeah.
Matt Kwiatkowski and Scott. Oh God, Scott McClory already sent me his address. Matt Kwiatkowski, you gotta send it to me anyway, or send me Joni's address. And I'm catching word that I got to tell you this post. First off, I'm catching word that Patrick O'Masters has set up a picture of me somewhere on our page. Jonathan Hughes posted a big gold ring. This is weird. He said it was discovered in the Florida Keys in about 6 foot of water with a Garrett carrot in the seagrass. It's a beautiful ring. Did he know it was there? Who goes in
spontaneously into the seagrass in 6 feet of water with a carrot?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'd like to know a little more about that, but it's a beautiful ring. And then Patrick O'Masters is probably going to be thrown off from Detect America because
What did he post? A picture?
yeah, I guess I'm now the new king of England.
Oh, that's awesome.
The new king of England. I mean, you know what?
Dude, you look so young there. You need to grow hair back.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't. All hail me.
look at Ronnie's head of hair. It's meatballs, baby. It's all it is.
Baby,
more
this is all the Italian, baby. My grandfather, I had full head of hair when he died.
All
My
right,
grandfather
Wayne.
looked like Steve.
He died when he was 23.
Thanks again, Wayne. Let's say goodnight to Wayne, guys. Everybody say goodnight to Wayne. Buddy, I'll be talking
thanks,
to you.
buddy.
Again.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and thank you to the show's sponsor, Ronnie, who's hooked me up many times,
Yeah.
and
Thank you for the
including the
support.
other night. I appreciate it, Ron. Thank
And
you.
I'm sure you'll see him while you guys are rocking the KC and the Sunshine Days.
Yeah.
All right, good night.
Oops. I didn't mean to hit it that soon.
So, Ron, thanks for the last, buddy. But
Here's the thing, and yet we chalk it up. We're just breaking Ronnie's balls. That's all it is. However, he really is leaving early of a really going to be a great day, and he really is leaving early to go see KC the Sunshine Band and to be 52.
my wife's heart's set on it, and I can't.
Well,
don't worry, we won't say anything to her either.
No,
Yeah,
and we won't spontaneously send you pics along the way.
No, not at all.
While we're there.
Listen, Frank, by that time it probably won't matter much to him.
Well, once he's in the middle, he's enthralled by that music that's emanating from KC and the Lobster. He won't even be thinking about it.
That's right. I've already seen KC once before, so.
So, all right. So the good news is, if anyone's still watching, hopefully we get Debbie Smakowski of Mind Lab on the show to really talk about the Manicore and not just proclaim to know about it.
Debbie I'm going to be talking to Debbie in the coming weeks. We will be talking to D-Lec, who is going to, again, D-Lec wanted to wait till after the event, the detectable event. She will be coming on.
Was she there?
I don't know if she was there personally. I understand she was going, but I don't know.
Oh, okay, so we love D-Lec.
Look at my hat. What the hell happened?
Yeah. Look at my hat and it goes blank.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
All right, Ronnie. Good to see you, buddy.
guys.
We'll talk. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right. Good night there, KC.
Do a little dance and make a little love. Get
Yeah,
down.
we tore him up. We tore him up tonight, man.
Yeah, that was spontaneous too. It wasn't
I
like-
think we tore him up. I don't think we've ever torn him up like that before.
I mean, I get it.
Do you want to go?
No.
Why not? All right, my wife said she'll go.
Steve will buy you a ticket.
I'm going to the beach of.
Oh, yeah, whoa,
Whoa.
go with the I'm going. You know, loose lips sink ships.
We're
man.
going to the beaches of Indiana.
Yes.
Is that where I said that was? They got beaches in Indiana. Well, so, dude, you're packing up.
I am packing up, man.
I
I
don't
am
know what to
packing up.
say.
I am ready. I have officially closed the shop until week to 10 days we'll be up and running. My place has a dedicated room just for my shop.
All right, so you're going there now.
Mhm.
And then when are you going to wind up coming back? You got to make 2 trips, right?
No. I don't think so.
You're going to do it in one,
I think so.
and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming back up sometime between now and the spring because I have a radar job up here that I have to do.
Yeah, but that I thought you were making 2 trips.
I wasn't sure. Right now, it looks like one, but I'll know for sure in the next 3 days as I finish loading up. If I don't have the room, I might have to come back. But it looks like I'm going to make it.
It's going to take you a week to get there.
Especially with 3 dogs.
Yeah.
I bought
Right.
this gigantic like hammock kind of insert for the back seat for the dogs.
So
I
they'll be
bought-
comfortable.
I bought a doggy air conditioner for those spontaneous moments where I have to go pee. They're going to the vet tomorrow, and I'm going to hint around to the veterinarian if she can slide me a little doggy tranquilizer.
I don't blame you.
My dogs cry. The vet is 5 minutes from my house. Literally, it's 5 minutes. They cry, and one of them shakes when he has to go to the vet. Gets in the truck, period, to go anywhere.
Right.
So, let alone
Right.
20 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Calm them down a little bit. Don't let them even sleep.
Exactly. We'll
Poor
see.
little old fat Rico. And don't you have any cats?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Cats all passed away. My 2 cats were 15, 16 years old. They
Yeah.
died. My Maggie passed away last year.
Right. Yeah, I know.
She was 18.
And you were sure that time.
Yeah, this time we were sure.
You were sure. We were sure this time.
Not the magical dog that came back to life.
Well, I like I said, I hope it's a rejuvenating thing for you because you'll have you'll be out of the house more. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
what I'm hoping.
For sure. Like if you know what, dude, and if I want to jump out of the house and go to the beach, I'm like 10 minutes, not less. It's not here where I gotta drive an hour, an hour to AC, 45 minutes to the beach here. I'm literally, I mean, I'm right there. Clearwater Beach is right there, and then I've got the whole southern extension of those beaches.
But you'll have more people near you, just even people near you to talk to. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
golf cart. You're gonna be in a I just wound up finding a bunch of people I think to join to watch Wayne's show and just approved them into the group. Damn, I was supposed to check that earlier.
Well, we do have it posted at the top of the page. It will be.
Yeah, we can post. Yeah, I know, but so that's it. Yeah, I know, but it'll be good. I need you to start enjoying life a little more.
Yeah.
Like
Now, and that's it. I'm miserable up here. I just am. There's no more
Right.
family. It's just miserable. I don't like the town I live in. I
Right.
have not liked it for a while. So if you asked me 10 years ago, I'd have been moving north to the snow, but I'm over that now.
but
No.
there's really nothing locking you down here.
No, not anymore.
Not
Actually,
anymore. So
I'm broadcasting from a home that I don't own anymore. This is not my house anymore, guys. Whoa, is that
Well,
lightning?
yeah, and I'm not saying, yeah, it's not necessarily. You'll have more people. You're gonna make
Yeah.
you'll make friends in a development where people are retired, not like your street where you don't talk to anybody on that street.
I don't know anybody. I told you, I stood out on my deck and I looked at all the
Mm.
houses that were my mother, my sister. Oh, it's lightning and thunder, awesome, and all my family. And I stood out on the deck one night and I was like, I don't know anybody here anymore. You know, you guys are the closest guys to me detecting. You're an hour away. Ronnie's 2 hours away.
Right? No, no. I don't blame you.
And,
Don't blame you.
And again, I still have to come back. I have to come back and listen. Not that I don't want to come back to see you guys and see my friends, but I have to come back here a couple times a year, no matter what, because I have jobs up here that keep me in jobs down there. So listen, I'm going to be doing some traveling. I'm going to be building boxes, building Aquatex, and being more. You'll see me on these pages more.
And
And
now's really the time to go to Florida.
Yeah.
The summer's almost over.
exactly.
So, I mean, yeah, you might find yourself in some hot conditions next year, but
Yeah, listen.
rather be-
You know what? When I bought the house, the first thing I
You're not
first
after-
thing I did was
but
check
you're
the
not
air
after-
conditioner. As long
right,
as that
you're
works.
not out there doing roofing. You're not out there working
Exactly.
either, you know?
Exactly. I'm
You get
working
hot,
in
you're
air
doing the air
conditioning.
conditioning.
And if I want to leave the house, I can go to the beach. I can go to the beach at 10 minutes from me.
I know. Hey, I might show up at your doorstep, dude.
Specifically, we bought the place that I bought is about the same size as this, except it's 3 bedrooms. We're getting pull out couches everywhere.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I may never leave.
Listen, it has a mother-in-law suite. I can section you off. We won't tell her where you are.
Yeah, because she'll show up. Oh, I'm here. Oh, I thought this was a vacation.
But hopefully, if everything goes well, I will be doing this live from my house in Florida Monday. If not, Steve will probably have to do it because I don't. The only question about me doing it live Monday is I don't know if I'm going to have internet.
Maybe we just don't do a show.
Yeah, I mean, I ordered the internet. I just don't know.
Do you really want me to do a show by myself?
I'll call. I can call in from my phone.
Do you really want to see me do a show by myself, especially while you're in Florida and
I
not Jersey?
want to do a tour.
Yeah, tour the house. All right, let's go to bed. I'm going to bed.
All right, guys.
Good night, everyone. Don't forget the rock lobster.
Rock lobster.
Lobster.
All right, see you later.